Hey guys, I'm back with another Santa's Workshop gift. And if you don't know what Santa's Workshop is, it's a group on Deviantart where artists can volunteer to give away art as gifts for people with nothing in return. This isn't actually late. I know it's March and everything, though we did start a little bit late this last Christmas, I guess. And but anyway, so some artists were too busy to complete the requests, so I volunteered to take a few more, and this was one of them, and they requested Alvin from Tales of Xillia, which I had actually never heard of before, so I had to do a little research, and apparently it's a Japanese role-playing game for the PlayStation 3. And yeah, I actually had a little trouble with probably that's fairly noticeable is the sword, and the reason why you don't see the actual like drawing part, and this is just the lining and the coloring, is because I really struggled with the sword and the general pose and everything, mostly the sword, just the sword really. And I actually found a reference page that just covered a lot of the details about the sword, and I'm not really sure how much that helped. It's like a character in itself. There was just so many details. I actually left out details because there were so many, and I couldn't do it, and then it would have covered his face. And anyway, so yeah, the biggest thing that was wrong with it is that I made it too short. It's actually a lot longer, but by the time I realized that, and I realized it fairly early on, I was like, no, I'm not changing all of this. People are gonna have to deal with the fact that the sword is a bit shorter than it should be. But yeah, so while lining this, I did do a little bit of line weight, as you can kind of see in this, but I probably should have pushed it a bit more. I was a bit apprehensive about it, and my pen's kind of dying, which is unfortunate because I like it. But anyway, I decided to make this piece a mix of Copics and my colored pencils for two reasons. One of them is that I never use my colored pencils and I always feel really bad about it. And I really need to do more with them in the future. I don't know, just for some reason I've been more in a Copic marker mood, so I've just been using them more. But I really need to use my colored pencils more. So that was one reason. The second reason is I don't really have the exact colors and just that I wanted to use for this picture, so the colored pencils on top of the markers actually helped to better accurately capture the colors of the character. I'm actually fairly happy with how the overall picture turned out. The line art, when I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. And then I was worried when I started coloring it, I'm like, I'm just gonna screw this up somehow. But, I mean, the worst part that I can see, really, for coloring-wise, is just the skin, because I used a fairly red marker. I think it was RO2 at my list. RO2, yeah. And I probably used too much of it, and I tried to like compensate by using more red and orange colored pencils, and then it just made it worse. So I tried to then fix it by going over with more cool colors for the shadows, and now he just looks ill and like he has a black eye. So that's unfortunate, and that's probably the worst part, honestly. I was actually pretty happy. I'm not there yet, but I'm actually pretty happy with the yellow on the sword. I didn't think I was gonna be able to really capture the yellowness of the sword, but in the reference that I looked at and my picture, they look pretty close, so I'm happy about that. And another thing I'm actually fairly happy about was the coat, because I was pretty worried about how the redness, like in the shading and the... Yeah, because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of doing whatever. Oh, I did make a little mistakey because I didn't pay that close attention to the reference when I was coloring the gloves, was that he has like some orange thing on his thumb and I didn't do that, as you can see right now. So yeah, those are probably the biggest mistakes coloring wise, but yeah, otherwise I'm pretty happy with it. I do wish I did the hair a little different, but I think the white gel pen highlights helped it a lot and made a pretty big difference, as it always typically does. I was actually pretty hesitant in using the white gel pen with this picture, and yeah, I probably should have like played around in Photoshop just to see what it would have looked like if I added some more white highlights, but whatever. It don't matter. Oh, and anyway, talking about what's happening right now in the video. Gosh, Sam. So this like metal thing, I don't know exactly what it is, but it was very complicated. It was very difficult to explain. But anyway, I was trying to make it look like metal, and it was a bit of a struggle. And so yeah, there's that. And then right now I'm coloring the darker gray part in my gray. I had no idea, but it was so dead. But I already started coloring with it. So it looks like really blotchy. Probably like right now you see like there's a big thing in the middle, like that was an accident. So that I tried to like use that accident, like the whole Bob Ross thing, it's just a happy accident. So I was trying to make that kind of like a shadow with because it's metal. So yeah, gotta work with what happens. And yeah, so doing the yellow part now. Oh gosh, we're getting close to the end. Oh, I still got a space to do, that's right. Anyway, so trying to keep with the cool shadows, so I put in a little bit of purple, and I probably should have done more, but it looked a bit more noticeable, but then now that I'm looking at it, it's not really that noticeable, so I probably should have done more. But yeah, I'm so hesitant all the time. Anyway, so here's white gel pen. Not that exciting, doing some highlights. I actually got to use pink for once. I almost never use my pink markers. I need to do like an all pink picture, I swear. But his eyes, I used some pink in his eyes. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching and listening to me ramble about random crap. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!